You should have like 4 or 5 places to jump. Mounts seem a little weak. And you don't have earplugs anymore. Like, not having earplugs is brutal. Ooh, nice. Can I get another one? Yes! Oh, happy. If only you knew. That one's new! That one's new! That's great! Here we go. But, as always, remember, you can't say fuck you to your friends. Who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. I am gonna say, I don't know if this is just because I don't have, like, skills or anything, but the weapons just feel like, this feels like PoE 2 to PoE 1, where, like, Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter World are, like, super fast-paced, like, super fast attacks, like, get out of the way, and this feels more deterministic. Aw, they fixed the stamina exploit! In Worlds, if you're moving while you're holding down guard, you actually get your stamina back. So you can infinitely guard as long as you're moving forward. I can fight a Rathian because I know Rathian like the back of my fucking hand. So the difference between a monster that I know how to fight and a monster that I don't know how to fight. What it'll do. Hey, Turf War! Here we go. Wait, I could do sneak attack. Sneak attack. Sneak, sneak, sneak. No, I can't do it. Damn it. I gotta get used to being able to use sneak attack. Looks angry. You know who's angry? I'm fucking angry. No, I'm actually having a fucking blast. You get it? Blast? Oh, you tried so hard. I'm sorry, Happy, but that was too funny. You fucking whiffed it. As always, thank you so much for watching, everyone. We had a blast today. We finally got, I guess this is the end of the beginning, or the beginning of the end, but either way. As always, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. Ooh. We're like 1 frame away from getting it off, but we can't frickin' get the goddamn ability off. Hell yeah, I know how to fucking kick him right in the balls. Right in the dick! Okay, now we know how to charge it. Alright. Oh man, we didn't get the mount, that sucks. What the fuck? It's got like a... This is like a fucking Elden Ring boss. This is insane. Ooh, the damage is real. Damn, I shouldn't have done that because I wasn't powered up. But he's dead either way. Fuck it. GG. At least I fought it with the switch axe in the beta, so I'm kind of used to fighting it with the switch axe. Take that as a W. Yo, bro, I'm winning. Welcome, welcome, Valium boy. We just fucking rocked. Wait, did you just did you just do what I think you did, Valiant Boy? Wait, did you jump onto Twitch to ban that guy who just hooded the bot? You fucking tried! You fucking tried! Oh my god! 1% to 148. Yeah, fucking the turnaround. Oh shit! I'm gonna die. As always, remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you! Happy, were you flirting with that cat? New game plus thing, or like high rank thing, but Slay 10 high rank Balakchi! They are high rank. It's a mystery how they got it. Oh well, I know that they're high rank, which means maybe I need to actually be killing low rank. Yes! Okay, well we got it. See, I was just in high rank and I should have been in low rank. Is this one right? Yeah. That looks badass. We're going to smash this chicken. What you mean by that? I have a hammer! Ooh, the spin to win, the spin to win, the spin to win! He's down! The chicken. There you go, K Valiant Boy. Get your ass on Twitch. Ban that motherfucker.
That guy right there. That guy is on fire. You can totally tell. What the?
Rat, he's stealing our hiding place.
Dude, bail! Come on!
I can't. The seatbelt was jammed.
Why did you buckle it? Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Thank you so much, Amy Page, for the subscription, for gifting a sub. That is fucking amazing. Thank you so much. I love that clip so much. It's so good. Remember, as always, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. Any 5 options. Western country. Austria. Nope. Portugal. Closer. Think more north. Netherlands? More east. Spain? A little bit south. Norway. That's too far north. You can't? What's between Mongolia and India? I am fighting a spider called Lullabarina. I mean, it's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad, right? Yo, guys, how's it going? We back. How's everyone doing? So we got a StarCraft day today, guys. We're gonna skip everything because I kind of went through and there's not really anything interesting in the games. So we decided, fuck it, let's just go straight to the finals because it's a Zerg versus Protoss finals. Or Terran? Wait, is Kira Protoss or Kira Terran? Question mark, actually, I'm not quite sure. Huh, interesting. Alright, well, and today for the start, we are going to be doing analysis. So, much fast forwarding later, the games begin. True, it's the only game we really care about, because for some reason, I don't know why the finals for the ASL isn't out yet. I didn't know there would be like a 2-week gap. Well, fuck. A 2-week gap between weeks, because it should have been out on Tuesday. So not sure about that. Maybe it got delayed. Who knows? But, anyways, let's deal with this for now. So, what do we want? Where are we? Does this not have... Oh, here it is. Scale writing. This is what we want. 1 to 10 being 1 being the writing of a child, 10 being the writing of Stephen King. I think that's pretty decent. Rate, like, super simple. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the writing of a child, 10 being the writing of Stephen King, rate this story. I'm guessing someone had a sick day or other issue that delayed the translations. Maybe. Who knows? Alright. And we want to use think, so it goes super in-depth. Alright, so what does Grok think of our story? After fully editing, this will be the best thing I've written so far, I'd say, probably. Something like that, right? So let's see what he thinks about it. And see where, like, what are the things that I need to improve, right? That's what we're looking at here. What do we need to improve? I think building the atmosphere and the tension is definitely, like, a big thing. Even though, like, we set it up, we just don't do it that well. Right? I don't know. That's probably one of my weakest points. But we redid the audio, and we completely finished the entire video. So, we're gonna play through that, and I want your guys' feedback on that. But I'm going to wait until later on when more people have showed up, so I don't have to show the video twice, kind of idea. Because, 3 things. I added in music tracks. We did AI-generated images with, like, you know, like zoom-ins and stuff. And tried to, like, do a more, like, immersive voiceover, I guess? I don't know. But I think it turned out well. And today will probably be a little bit of a shorter stream. Always gotta prepare myself for going back for work on fucking Monday. My Monday. We had a pretty good weekend, so can't complain. Epic stream yesterday. That shit was insane. Oh, and note. So I got a a warning on YouTube for something that I watched. So I'm guessing it was one of those rap videos that Ryan guy got me to watch, because that was the only thing that was like out of the ordinary for the stream that I watched. So stay away from music on stream. So I guess sadly we're not going to be able to do any more unless you know it's a safe song, right? Because apparently now that I've got a warning, the next time is a 1-week ban. And I'm like, well, that's fucking bullshit. So, yeah. I'm even considering stopping live streaming on YouTube. Because the last thing I want is all of my VODs deleted. Because I am losing my channel. Because I'd literally lose everything. Just fucking stupid. But, yeah, that kind of scared me a little bit. And I was like, okay, well, fuck that. No more music. Or at least, you know, music that I know, like, I don't know that... For instance, random rap songs from fucking random people coming into the chat. No more of that shit. No more of that shit. And man, if only I knew where these fucking sound effects were coming from, man! Like... I don't know. No matter what I do, I can't figure it out. I mean, when I found out that, like Muffin said, Stream Elements has chat notifications. Like, chat... where is it? Modules. Like, chat alerts. But, even if I turn this off... because I don't have an alert system for it, it's not going to do anything anyways. But anyways, plot. Story follows Michael, a boy who uses chewing gum as a coping mechanism, inspired by his comic book hero to face his anxiety about a dentist visit. It's a straightforward narrative. Score, 6 out of 10. Writing style. The author employs vivid descriptive language, which is a strength. Phrases like, the sun's warmth streams through the sunroof onto my face, stirring a sense that my fortress crumbles around me, and the dentist chair towers ahead like a medieval trap, paint clear atmospheric pictures. Metaphors and similes enhance the mood effectively. However, there are weaknesses. Awkward phrasing like, the testament to my will soured, confuse rather than clarify, and some dialogue, the hygienist, oh dear, it's fine, let's clean you up and rinse. It happens to everyone. Feels stilted, grammatical hiccups, and unclear moments also detract from its polish. It's more sophisticated than a child's writing, but falls short of Stephen King's seamless prose. 7 out of 10. Character development. Michael emerges as a relatable protagonist, his admiration for his gum-chewing hero. His imaginative defiance and his fear of the dentist reveal a distinct personality. Smaller details like his mom's detachment, flipping through a magazine instead of comforting him, and a hinted backstory about her dental trauma add subtle layers. However, supporting characters like the dentist and hygienist remain functional, lacking depth compared to a child's writing. This shows effort at characterization, but it doesn't reach the rich, multifaceted characters in King's crafts. 5 out of 10. Atmosphere. Story creates a sense of unease during... Hello! Hey, Callie, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. How are you? You have a different color today, Callie. You're green. Everyone's changing to green. What is this? Everyone's abandoning blue. Fuck. Sean stole my color. But Sean's green. You're both green. So you're stealing his color now? Story creates a sense of unease, especially during the dental scenes. Descriptions of the drills whine, the needles sting, and the final blood drip evoke discomfort, amplifying Michael's childlike dread. It's not full-blown horror, but it captivates a said slightly creepy vibe, reminiscent of King's ability to unsettle, though far less intense. A child's writing wouldn't achieve this mood, but the execution here lacks the gripping escalation King is known for. 7 out of 10. You were blue because you were cold. Oh, damn! Overall impact. Story holds attention with its focus on Michael's inner world and the gum motif, which ties his hero worship to his coping strategy neatly. The ending, blood dripping unexpectedly, offers a jolt, though its ambiguity, is it from the procedure or something more, feels unresolved rather than intentionally mysterious. It's not a forgettable tale, but it doesn't linger like King's work. Compared to a child's basic storytelling, it's a clear step up, yet it needs refinement to maximize impact. 6 out of 10. Final rating. Average these out. 6.2. The story lands around a 6. Or 1 incoherent, simplistic, childlike. 10 is masterful, king-like. This fits in the middle. It's not a beginner's effort, showing skill with description, mood, and cohesive thread, but it's not professional grade either, due to pacing issues, clarity lapses, and underdeveloped elements. Child might write a flat, under-detailed account, while King would weave a tighter, more profound tale. The story sits comfortably above average, with potential that isn't fully realized. Nice. Love it. Now if we take something like like a comparison-wise, right? Let's go to an old speedrun story, like... The Stage. Let's do The Stage. Can you run the same analysis on this story? And this is going to be like a comparison of how much we've improved, right? Because I'd assume this is going to be a 4 or a 5. As always, Green, I'm using my bellow jaw bleeding echo power to rewrite history. Ah, nice, Callie. That's super smart. And I thought I won the fight as blue because blue is the best color. But apparently, you guys are still fighting that. It's like, alright, well, I mean, it is what it is. I can't, you know, I can only state my opinion. So plot is 5. Stage follows Kelsey, a performer in a competitive event, likely a fashion show or pageant, where she strives to impress various audience groups. Lies, you're Callie from an alternate universe where you had better taste. Damn! Nice, Sean. Particularly the celebrities in the high balcony, the narrative traces her efforts to stand out through multiple outfit changes and bold performances, including a cartwheel and a provocative display of nudity. The rivalry with another model, Jessica, adds tension, especially when Kelsey suspects sabotage after nearly falling due to a broken heel. Story culminates in a dramatic appraisal where models are assigned numbers and chosen by groups like royalty and vagrants. Kelsey, despite her efforts, is not selected, leaving her defeated and reflecting on her misplaced ambition. The plot is cohesive and builds suspense through Kelsey's escalating attempts to shine. However, it lacks depth and world-building and clarity about the stakes. Why is this event so crucial to Kelsey? What do the selections mean for her future? The ending, while emotionally charged, feels abrupt and leaves these questions unresolved. Compared to a child's simplistic story, it's more structured, but it doesn't approach the intricate narrative of Stephen King. Now we got our original Callie back, the one we've come to love. Oh, shit. Actually, I'm Callie Chameleon. I change colors depending on my mood. Damn, Callie, that's OP. That orange is fucking bright and strong on the eyes, though. Holy shit. The writing is rich with descriptive language, painting vivid images on the stage and Kelsey's outfits. For example, a black tapestry of dazzling lights in motion. The tight, fine woven purple and red velvet of her skirt limited the length of her stride. Showcase a flair for sensory detail. The opening line, a dazzling stage, ambitions dance, fleeting glances, and veiled rivalries unfold beneath shifting lights. Chasing elusive dreams. Sets an evocative tone with its poetic rhythm. However, the style is undermined by awkward phrasing, grammatical errors, and typos. Sentences like, the unkempt, unwashed masses of the men pressing against each other, trying to get close to the stage as possible, are overly long and clumsily, while nay upon their feet, possibly meant as nothing upon their feet, is confusing. Dialogue such as the guards, hark ye see these wenches try such as to defy men, feels stilted and archaic without clear purpose. While the prose surpasses a child's basic sentences, it lacks the polish and precision of a King's masterful style, needing editing to enhance clarity and flow. 6. Who lit Callie on fire, and what did they inject him with so he was happy about it? That stuff is strong. I am naturally happy, I need no hormones! True, Callie. Character development. Kelsey is the most developed character with her ambition, rivalry with Jessica, and emotional arc providing some depth. Her determination shines through in moments like her recovery from a near fall and her bold, desperate final performance. Her internal thoughts, such as suspecting Jessica's sabotage or reflecting on her defeat, adds layers to her personality. However, other characters like Jessica and the various audience members remain underdeveloped. Jessica is a rival but lacks a distant voice or motivation behind being an obstacle, and the audience groups, royalty, vagrants, etc., are mere archetypes without individuality. This is a step above a child's flat characters, as Kelsey has some complexity, but it falls short of King's ability to craft fully realized, memorable figures with rich backstories and nuanced interactions. 4 out of 10. Oh, did they actually inject you with horns that cause lactation? That's going to be weird. Sean. Atmosphere. Story excels at creating a tense, competitive atmosphere. Descriptions like lights flashing, sending black circles spiraling across her vision, and the unkept, unwashed masses of the men pressing against each other evoke a chaotic, almost oppressive setting. The stage itself, with its dazzling lights and motion, feels alive and intimidating, amplifying Kelsey's struggle. The shift from the frenzied crowd to the cold, unreadable faces in the balcony builds a sense of hierarchy and judgment. While effective, the atmosphere doesn't escalate to the haunting or gripping intensity King often achieves. It's vivid and engaging, surpassing his child's simplistic mood, but lacks the sustained, visceral impact of a master storyteller. The stage holds attention with Kelsey's journey to the competitive stakes. Her rivalry with Jessica and her final humiliating defeat carry emotional weight, and the vivid setting keeps the reader immersed. However, the lack of context about the event's significance and the abrupt ending distract from its power. It leaves the reader curious but unsatisfied, with loose ends, like the meaning of the numbers in selection, dangling unresolved. Compared to a child's basic tale, it's far more engaging and shows storytelling promise, yet it doesn't linger or provoke the deep reflection of King's work, needing refinement to maximize its resonance. 5 out of 10. Rating, 5. So yeah, we've definitely got an improvement, right? Improvement over time is huge. Then again, if they did inject you with lactation hormones, that's a decently healthy method to lose weight, as you just need a breast pump to suck the pounds off while you chill and watch TV. Damn, Sean, you should market that shit. It should be like the new Ozempic. Oh, right, there's one more thing I wanted to do. Not this. We want the clickbait. My lactation is rainbow and my fat is everlasting. Nice, Callie. Just infinite lactates. Okay, this is like way too far down, right? We passed it. Nope. Apparently not. Okay, I think that's all I need. Will be a good clickbait title for YouTube to maximize the algorithm, and hook line, plus an image to go along with it for this story. I think that's pretty decent. Let's see what we get. I am officially lonely, guys. Fix it. I'm sorry, Callie. Can't create an image of this. Why not? Fuck you. Wait, is there blood in here? Oh, yeah, use blood. Get rid of the blood. It's gonna freak out because of blood. So, let's get rid of blood. Oh. Okay, we need to get rid of that too. This is not working very well. Something like this? It's not that great. What do you guys think? Retry it? Try it with a different prompt? Maybe something like... create a prompt for a haunted looking abandoned dentist office. Okay, well, create an image of, and let's see what that gets us. I mean, I kind of like this. This looks really good. Okay, let's take that, and then what do we got for like the captions and stuff? So let's go to here. We want to change these with chewed gum to be a hero, but it led to this shocking twist. Let's try. So we're gonna take the prompt. See what it gives us. see what this gets us. Into a nightmare when disaster strikes. Can they escape chaos? I think I get rid of the gone wrong. Just dentist disaster. We saved that one, right? Here. Dentist disaster. Take this. Go here. Drop this guy in there. We don't want to go like this. There, how's that for a thumbnail? Alright. So we'll come back to that in a bit here. True. Are you guys ready for this? The finals. Let's fucking go. Get out of here, fucking bullshit. Okay, we're just skipping through all this shit because I don't give a fuck. We just want the games, boys. We just want the games. Let's fucking do it. Okay, it is Protoss versus Terran.
Okay, so we have.
That's right, because
here
Hero
top
is
left.
Zerg
Hero
in
in the top
StarCraft
left.
1.
And this is one of our maps that has the healing zones on it. We never really talked much about what we haven't gotten to see this much in play, but just going to put that out there in case this is a factor here in this series.
Yeah, Persephone with that healing zone in about the center right of the map, and then the entire right side, that whole perimeter just lined with these speed zones. We have seen a couple of moments here in GSL where, because of the nature of the map, you typically expand towards either the top right or the bottom right portion, depending on where you're at.
Look at Giga Chad Cure over here.
Oh yeah.
He's been doing neck workouts for years.
I mean, everybody in that interview was just talking about how they're getting jacked. So.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be right
The
back. One
art is
second.
reflecting it.
Well, that's going. StarCraft 2 is back, so we're all gonna get out of shape again. The nerd body's coming back.
Yeah, that era, the healthy era is over.
Yeah.
But
Just flabby nerds with bad wrists. Just living the dream.
nothing says StarCraft 2 like
Yeah.
like a broken down body and injuries.
Nothing says StarCraft 2 like skinny fat bodies with brittle arms.
My wrists are breaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, here on Persephone, it's a really interesting map, just not only because of the healing zone, but also all of the speed zones there on the right side perimeter. And it's very fun when we get to positions where the players expand all 4 bases across the top or the bottom side of the map, and then you have things like double or triple SC or medevac drops taking place in those corners, because I'm telling you, they zoom, man, through those speed zones. Like, they will be on top of a Nexus in no time at all. It's a really fun map. I'm glad that we're getting a little bit more adventurous with the map making this season.
So, in this game, we've got Protoss expanding again. No doubt the Twilight Council is going to be thrown in here unless we've got some real plot twists here for Game 1. We have started the factory, and we're going to have the command center right after that. So this is tech into expand. No one-base craziness like we had from Gumiho.
Yeah, and it's going to be a Reaper Hellion opening here for Cure, and I wonder if he's going to try and hide that second Reaper. Nope. In fact, Cure actually throwing down a pylon because he wants to...
All right.
We almost never see this used. Yeah, and he actually cancels it. It's actually an old...
Gonna learn today, boys!
Where you can put that down there and basically...
Who's gonna be the world champion?
But yeah, he threw it down and canceled it, so...
It's something that we see more often in PvP than anything else in StarCraft 2, but... Hero, he's been very on point with his scouting thus far. So these double Reapers going to jump into the main base, see a Stalker and a Sentry, and then shimmy right back out. Behind this, Cure, he is continuing to train Reapers. So typically with a strategy like this one coming in from Cure, you want to go for a healthy number of Hellions and Reapers, and then you basically want to knock on the front door of the Protoss. If you can get past a wall in, potentially by using your grenade to kind of shimmy whatever Protoss unit is sealing the gap if there is one.
Here we go.
You have the potential to get a lot of damage done. Even these 4 Reapers, if they want, might be able to force a Guardian Shield or potentially go for that Sentry. Instead, Cure just opting to play a little bit more safe.
Oh,
and the
it's got Hellions in the front, though.
Exactly what Hero is doing.
Hellions,
Hellions. Gateways, you start to close this gap a little bit. You can use either Force Field or units to body block this entrance. This is a build coming out from Cure where there is a big potential to get damage done if these units all get into the natural expansion. Oh, that shield battery really working overtime right now.
And he catches
great force
catches
field
it.
Catching one of those Hellions.
Force field's OP.
It's going to be a Cloak Banshee follow-up. So one of the things that Terran players sometimes do with strategies like this one, because the ideal response, the optimal response from Protoss is often to go for exactly what Hero did and have these structures walling in the natural ramp. This is very vulnerable to a siege tank push, a delayed siege tank push. So we now have siege tanks in production as well as Cloak Banshees. And so I'm wondering if Cure is going for this opening to try and force Hero's hand a little bit, the same way that Classic in one of his games had double gateways and a robotics facility all in the natural expansion, all vulnerable to a siege tank push at the front door. Cure is kind of going for the same thing right here, but Hero, he's playing this very smart. He's not going into Blink first. He's almost preempting a potential siege tank follow-up for this by opting for very fast Zealot charge. Now,
yeah, we saw this in action before, and it worked really nicely. That Hellion, by the way, just poked up there and confirmed that there is a third base coming. So tempo-wise, how everything's developing, it's looking pretty normal for the Protoss. We don't have a third command center started, so this is clearly going to be...
What up, dude? Front burner, welcome. How's it going, bro? We are watching the finals of the GSL, StarCraft Global League, Global StarCraft League. For StarCraft 2. For some reason, Soul Key versus Best is not out for StarCraft 1 ASL yet.
But, you know,
Disney is at it again, man. What did they do this time, front burner?
And maybe pull some of the stalkers away. Yeah. Man,
I heard some shit, but I didn't. I don't exactly know what it was.
But even if these Banshees, ideally, so in a situation right now, so say we do have Cloak here for Cure, if he's able to keep
You're making Superman into a Muslim guy.
Cure, are you crazy? Look at this. You have, what, 5-6 Elts now coming in? Just going to trade out for a siege tank and then run on out? How often do we see this in PvT? What a clever tactic there from Hero. That was really impressive, actually. I don't think he lost anything, maybe one Zealot at most. So Cloak is done now. You're going to try and do some counter damage, already being able to force down 4 probes. Of course, these 2 Banshees able to one-shot probes coming in here. Link, again, because we went for the charge opening here as hero, is not on the table for maybe another 30 or 40 seconds.
Like,
so
look, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's another plane.
And Hero would love to keep these Banshees alive,
That's
especially
fucking
if he wants to
great.
go for a
That's
safe
fucking
push
great,
later on in the
front burner.
game. Now, he did already lose one siege tank.
This is the world we live in, guys. It's the fucking world we live in.
I don't think this is the build that's going to be trying to converge into some kind of timing attack at the third.
I mean, it's a hell of a timeline for content, I'll tell you that.
Safe way of approaching the
I'm gonna never run out of ideas because I'm just gonna be copying what happens in real life. Be like, nothing, that'll never happen. That story's ridiculous. It's like, well, it actually did.
Into very biocentric play.
You know, the one story everyone wants.
So,
Superman stops 9/11, towers still fall.
Just, yeah, like you were saying, safety tank set up
Totally
here.
stole that joke.
Medevac's now
Hell yeah.
coasting up here towards the main.
You know what they say, amateurs imitate professionals steal.
Telegraph the drop itself in the space of the game, about 7.5 minutes. He's going to unload here. You know, he doesn't actually get that much. Did he actually kill a probe, or did they pull away?
I think he might have gotten one, but yeah, not a lot went down right there. And also for Kier, you don't know what's really getting recalled. Is these zealots are
controversial,
true. You're not going to take this fight,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That one maybe not as productive as the previous attack that was able.
Hold
to take
on,
down
what about
Siege
this?
for
What if we did a
almost
story
nothing.
like this, guys? Oh my god.
He's got a push coming, and then there's Banshees on the right to generate threats. There's the two medevacs still parked, you know, in the very, very back of the Protoss' base.
Guys, get
So,
this, get
right
this.
now, you know, what Kier's going to do is he's going to look for
Is it
wherever
this-
the soft
the Dubai
spot is,
Towers?
and try to hit there as hard as he
So
can.
imagine
There
this.
is a fourth base. I don't think Terran actually knows about it.
Nice catch on those
There's
Banshees
one
right now. with
fucking
Stalker.
goddamn
One
image.
more
Just give me a
honor just
fucking
shelling down
image
that
of
fourth base.
something.
This Colossus is very
So, like
vulnerable right now.
this.
Hero with late reaction.
So imagine this, right? So the story is, it's in the Middle East, in Dubai, and the Air Force One jet that was given to Trump, or given to, like, the U.S. Air Force, flies into the tower.
I don't know if that was worth it. Hero is going to stabilize in this fight. He is
I'm
going to be able to
totally
get
writing that short story, guys. That's the next short story we're writing. It'll be called Reverse 9/11.
Really, Hero, he wants to be pushing all of that money into upgrades.
It'll be like a false flag inside of the Middle East between, like, Qatar and Dubai and, like, Saudi Arabia, and it'll start World War III.
That was such a momentum builder that I'm very worried.
You've been hearing about the whole Hassan thing? Oh my god, the Hassan thing. So fucking stupid, dude. Like, best, I'm just gonna bring it up because it's the fucking best thing ever. True vindication as it goes. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second here. Is it here? Somewhere around here, right?
Asmongold predicts big problems in Twitch's future if they keep allowing this rhetoric to go unpunished. This was from February 28th, 2025. I'm kind of shocked that this is happening, and I also want to say that this rise in extremism and this rise in extremist rhetoric will eventually be very, very damaging for Twitch. Because eventually somebody will say something, will this be the time? It probably won't be the time. But eventually somebody will say something and it's going to get mainstream attention to a degree that it's going to damage Twitch on a massive level. Because this type of language and rhetoric is extremely distasteful. And I think that average people see this and they find it abhorrent. And the fact is that if you keep saying stuff like this and you keep doing this, you will eventually, in my opinion, like if I was Amazon and I found out this was happening, I would fire everybody at leadership at Twitch.
True.
I would. Because the fact is that the people who are leaders...
But yeah, basically, I had to stop involving myself with Twitch from the blatant anti-Semitism. I miss a lot of streamers there, but I did a pretty good send-off for most. Well, Asmon predicts that eventually Kick is going to buy Twitch. And all the people that hate Kick aren't going to leave Twitch. But I mean, it's bound to fucking happen. But we'll see.
And there, when I saw him blink in, I went, oh.
But it's crazy shit, man.
That's bad.
Fucking timeline we live
kind of
in.
a funny moment
And
that
then
he didn't-
and then the really fucked up thing is then there was this yesterday. Like, yeah, this shit.
This is where it starts. Here we go.
This shit yesterday with the fucking prime minister of Africa, South Africa. Like, fucking what the fuck? Every day something crazy. Twitch and Kick need a major overhaul in programming. Yeah, like they're so out of date. And then I was wondering. I'm like, hey, hold on. I haven't checked out Rumble. Let's check out Rumble. So we went to Rumble, right? And we went writing. And we're like, wait, what? And then we're like this. We're like, okay, how do you search categories on Rumble? Okay, is there a writing section on Rumble category? Rumble's pretty good programming so far, but it's still very minimalistic. But anyways, yeah, there's no writing category on Rumble. So if I streamed on Rumble, I don't know what category I would stream under. Right? But I was considering it, because I'm like, I mean, there's no point in not, right? Might as well expand as much as I can. And it'd be like on Kick. I'm the only person in the writing category. Whoops. Hey, there's someone else in here. I'm not the only one. I'm not even in the writing category right now. I just realized that. There's someone else in the writing category. I'm inspiring more people. Hell yeah, let's go. They need more non-political content. Rumble is still focused on free speech topics. Yeah, I'm just like, it's just because I do stories that are usually social commentary type stories, either parables, morals, something like that. So my stories definitely lean towards a political end, right? Because my goal is to make people see things, like ask themselves why they believe what they believe, and question themselves and look at themselves and say, do my beliefs have a solid foundation, or is my foundation sand and I'm eluding myself that it's cement? And I'm going to, the entire foundation my beliefs are built on are going to crumble. That's what I try to do with my writing. How to think, not what to think. I love the process of thinking and coming up with ideas and problem solving and stuff like that. Fight the NPCs one idea at a time. True.
The Colossus, and I think he's gonna basically. Oh, wow.
Yeah, crazy fucking world we live in.
He's gonna be spotted. Now, what he wants to do is have this drop meet up with the rest of his other drops that are actually parked in the back of that base. I thought he was gonna bring the medevac over here.
Yeah, he's bringing them in now. Stalker's already able to focus down 2 of these medevacs. This is actually not a very bad trade here for Hero thus far. Excuse me. Stalker's even blinking forward, gonna get one more medevac, and that's equalizing things a little bit. Now this drop at the natural expansion.
Okay, that was worth. He only got 3 probes though.
Overall, I have to say the defense
Yeah,
from
that
Hero in these
wasn't
past
exactly
couple of
that
moments
great
has been
for
really
Kira.
spectacular. It's actually
And he loses it. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's funny, like when you
That's
attack
crazy.
I'm not even talking about that attack, but the one before it, the push. There's like, you have a series of choices on what to do. Like, he could have killed that Nexus and 100% gotten a lead in that way, but he kind of went for like what I would call like a win more move. He moved past that, tried to kill.
But yeah, I think Twitch would be a very interesting guy to go. Nice seeing you. Yeah, man. Have a good one, Front Burner. Thanks for hanging out, man. Take it easy, brother. Always a pleasure.
Hero's gonna win, but Hero didn't suffer the same kind of losses. Now we've got a big stim in. The Colossus, both are sniped down. The third one's going to come in here in a second. The Vikings are all ready to deal damage on top of that.
Ooh, the Vikings are getting sniped like shit.
Hero, so he has to blink back, rejoin forces with the Colossus, already bleeding out a lot of high-tech, expensive units. A round of Zealots warping in, going to be able to add a little bit of sustain here on this army here for Protoss. It's scary in a moment like that one here for Hero. Man, I'm watching this. You know he wants to blink forward and focus fire down one or two of these Marauders, but it's a dangerous game. Instead, just going to be chasing them down. Blink back once the Widowmine shot's about to trigger. Oh, a lot of high-stress moments already in game one here between Hero and Cure. I've got to say, Cure has been doing a very good job of keeping the critical tech unit counts for Protoss under control. He's already sniped down a good number of Colossi. He's been doing a very good job of also resetting the Stalker count. But some of these trades, Hero has been doing a very good job of getting just the Starport units taken out. I would love to see the units tab. Okay, we have 6 medevacs and 1 Viking. Ideally here as Terran, you would like to have a lot more, especially against 4 Colossus on the board already.
So, the gold base is now being taken. We're getting into that configuration where the Protoss really starts to get ahead. It almost looks like they're Zerg or something with the sheer amount of map that they have. And he's not expanding. I mean, he's, you know, if you look at the mini map, Protoss has like 2 free bases right below the main. So there's a lot more bases that can still be taken, but he's reaching far instead of trying to take the easy stuff. So, I mean, Hero's getting very scary. And it's going to be tough for Cure to push out.
Okay, we back.
Cure is still compacted. He's
We
still
got
on 3
food
bases.
now, boys.
The 4th will eventually, you know,
Good to
come
go.
into play here. But I mean, for now, the size of the map. You know,
I'm
the size
drinking
of the
hot
number of
sauce.
bases that Cure
Ooh,
has
Callie,
is
drinking
just
hot
insane.
sauce.
I think
Is
we
it
might have
Frank's
a
Red Hot?
robotics facility
Yeah, I
in
think you're
production
right.
here for Hero. So a disruptor transition certainly going to be in the
They
cards.
say
Yeah, first one
sweat the
immediately
fat
gets
away,
Dark
right?
Shrine coming here as well.
Yeah, Hero just starting to flesh out more of his tech tree. Interesting choice not to go into Templar, but you know, Cure is one of these players that will always start to mix in Ghosts on 3, going on 4 bases. And so I don't mind too much Hero just opting to go for the Disruptors. He's one of the better players in terms of getting flanking Disruptor shots too in Korean PBT. And now he's basically max, and he's also been doing a very good job of spreading his vision. We have a lot of units, and also I think some pylons spread out on the left side of the map. You can see there on the mini-map as these Zealots are going to make their way into the 3rd base. Actually, going for the Assimilator is... I think Hero identifies that Cure is going for a lot of these more gas-centric units. He knows that he's killed a lot of medevacs, he's killed a lot of Vikings, and that Cure also wants to build... Oh, hold that thought, actually. Hero pushing it a little bit more than I was expecting. There was an EMP on those sentries, so no force fields available. Not a lot of Vikings. Actually, those Vikings really far forward. Multiple get picked off. 5 Vikings to 5 Colossus right now.
Says
on the field.
Grace
Hero's
Hot
army
Pepper
is
Sauce.
really powerful.
Interesting, Callie. Never heard of it.
And look at this
Oh, the heal
healing
zone.
zone.
Heal.
Maybe this is part of the reason why Hero is focusing more on just controlling this right side, because he can actually just repair all of these units basically, right?
Yeah, it's actually a good point. You know,
I hadn't considered that until this moment, but that's really brilliant. Protoss usually just recharge their shields. You don't get the HP back.
Here we go.
Big ambitious blink forward. A lot of energy on these sentries. Okay, they do get EMP'd. Good disruptor connection there on the right side. The Vikings, you see them focus firing down.
I think
the Colossi here in the front line, but there's so much damage. But
well,
again, the arc here for Cure is just fantastic.
Yeah.
The Zealots dissipate on the left side. That's going to force Hero to re-max on Zealots.
He's got so many
retreat,
bases. He's literally
regroup.
taking like the entire
It
map.
wasn't really too advantageous to trade on either side. Cure lost a lot of Vikings. Most of the Colossi do remain. But the issue right now for Cure is that Hero's economy is insane. Hero is taking Cure's base in the bottom right side of the map right now, Tasteless. This is crazy.
He's
yeah,
like, fuck
I mean,
you, I'm playing the long game, bitch.
The craziest amount of map control I've ever seen here from a Protoss. And the problem is like, okay, so Terran's not dying, right, all right, as long as he can hold this off. But the other issue is Terran's not growing. Terran's not
Uh-oh,
an
here comes
active,
some zealots.
participant on the map.
Yeah, this command center here at the 4th base is the main CC, I think, as we have another engagement coming in. There's nothing really to fight these Colossi.
Oh, man, this
There's
might be
+3
GG.
ground weapons. The Zealots have +3 armor. So much damage getting dished out. Now the missile turret's actually going to take down one of these
GG.
Colossi, I think, but it doesn't matter. Hero pushes into the natural expansion, and in one of the most zergy PvT games that I have ever seen.
Yeah, he fucking dominated.
Just completely
That was
captures
crazy.
the right side of the map. At the very end, even taking one of Pure's bases.
Yeah, I mean, that bottom right base, it's implied, just by the way the map is structured, that would always go to the Terran. That might be like the last base Terran takes. I mean, it's kind of crazy. The matchup looks like...
It's like,
Protoss
okay,
and
okay,
StarCraft.
let's
You
go
know what
back
it
to the
reminds
drawing
me of,
board.
actually? It reminds me of StarCraft 1 PvT. StarCraft 1 in PvT, it's funny. It's like the Protoss just keeps expanding and the Terran's army scales better. But eventually you have like enough gateways everywhere, because you can't warp in StarCraft 1, but you have enough gateways everywhere. They can't really do anything. You're like constantly surrounding them, and you just sort of overwhelm them. And StarCraft 2 PvT never played like that until now.
That was delicious. My
Hero,
brain
we
is
think about it too,
scrambled.
the way he
Damn,
made
Callie.
his style of
That's
PvT, where
hardcore.
The Protoss was also basically the
I don't know what
zergy
time
rapid
is.
expansions. You see him really testing the limits in macro and PvT as we get
Time is a
to
construct
go
your
into
brain
game number
creates
2. The
in
players
order
are
to
locked
create
in. The lobby
continuity
is
for
loading
your
up. Hero
existence.
leading this best of 7,
Time is not a
1-0.
true construct. It is a
Go into
creation
battles.
of the mind. Think of it as like existence in totality is like, think of filming a movie, right? Like all the shots and all the everything, but your existence and your reality is the final cut together movie. But there's all those individual in-between points that aren't connected necessarily to your consciousness that exist within your own reality.
Win the game. He got in there and he killed the Colossus and he was hitting a bunch of locations, but he went in a little bit too deep. Hero was a little bit too resilient and kind of bounced back. And from there, you know, it seemed like the game kind of ran away from him. Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah, second SCV sent out in the middle of the map, and Hero barely missed it, Tasteless.
So what is this SCV going to be for? He got it out. Keep in mind, you know, scouting with the probe right away is pretty common here. But when you scout, you also will be able to check if an SCV has left. But the way that he sent this out, the way he sent this out, Hero should have no idea there's a hiding SCV. Unless he's so good that he would be able to show up and count literally every worker. This might be too subtle for him to notice.
Yeah, and he's just focused on harassing.
This is a double racks. And I can't
That's the only
emphasize how
thing in
sneaky this
science
is.
I don't agree
Because
with.
when you scout like this, especially when you see the first barracks already made out here, this looks so much like just any other build in the game. You're gonna get run
Consciousness?
over.
The
Thank
idea
you,
of
Bob.
time,
Thank you so
or
much.
my
Appreciate
my
that.
description
even
of it?
The camera guy getting some love.
Yeah, look at the camera guy.
The guy, yeah. Now I'm looking in the audience, like, but which camera guy was it?
We got multiple.
Time being linear,
Okay, so the Marine's gonna pop
and
out,
time
away
being an actual
this
thing.
probe. And as far as Hero is
Time
concerned,
being a thing we
everything
create,
looks completely standard
or whatever.
right now, but we do have the second barracks. and
Well,
it
it's a
is gonna be
construction of
so
events and timelines. Like, the concept of
Going
time is an
outside.
abstract
Oh, let's find out
idea.
right
It's
now.
an
That SCV
accumulation
looks like
of
an asshole.
events placed in
Have to look at
order,
those trees
right?
For the rest of the game.
I mean, it's not a bad spot, right?
Oh, can't get out that way either.
Like, surely I can fit.
But
Yeah, it's one of the
does
better views of
time
the map.
actually
Alright.
is time
Yeah,
is
yeah,
time
You know, it actually matters
as
because
real
the
as
SCV has
gravity?
a little bit of extra
I don't
damage they
think
can
so.
Soak up in the rush.
He canceled the command center. Oh, Cure.
You
dirty devil.
scumbag.
But
we
it's
have
an interesting
another
idea,
issue
right?
now on the top left side of that. This is insane, actually. Are we gonna have like a proxy factory?
Time is
over
a
there?
river.
Where?
It
The top
flows
left
not
side of the map
constant.
Right now, you can see this little tiny red dot.
And
is
we were
another
read to know
SCV
how
that
we
was
could climb back
originally building
out
the command
and move
center
upstream.
and the natural
True,
expansion
Sean.
Cure. And
Concussive
also,
shells.
it's worth noting, by the way, Hero right now is being very greedy. He is
I mean,
boosting
to
probe.
some
He's
people,
not
they
energy
like
recharging
that's
his
astral
battery. He's just waiting
projection,
for it to build up in energy,
and people
so
can
he has
already do
no
that kind of
idea
thing.
that this is happening.
And there's
The
scientific.
sentry
If you
is
didn't
out.
know, there's
It's
actual
2
scientific
sentries. There's no stalkers to micro.
evidence
oh, no, he just
of
he just popped the Phoenix.
the
No
test
guardian
that
shield.
the
No force field. It's just 2 sentries.
The,
shield batteries going down.
CIA
The
did with
reinforcement
Edgar
he's got is
Casey.
going to secure
If you don't know who
surround with
Edgar
probes.
Casey
The
is,
probes are doing a great job.
you should look up
Getting
Edgar
surround right
Casey.
now on these Marauders.
He is the defining
I mean,
example of like scientific evidence that time isn't real and that consciousness extends beyond physical reality.
Fighting against SCVs and Marauders. This is crazy, Tasteless.
is he gonna get the pylon? The battery's healing the pylon.
Dude, the
SCVs
sentries.
The sentries with their little Ghostbusters beams are slowly...
You think your imagination's strong? Try imagining yourself astral projected onto Jupiter and swimming in, I think it's Jupiter. Is that a Jupiter or Saturn? A river of Mercury.
Oh my god! What a game!
Oh my god.
Dude, 3 sentries and you hold that? And let's not forget,
I don't
he
know.
went for a Phoenix. He hallucinated a Phoenix.
Yeah,
That's not a Guardian Shield. That's not extra force field.
You know when you're like watching a fight, and like
Dude.
most of the time when a fight's about to happen, you kind of know who's gonna win. And then there was that one where I'm like, wait, I cannot tell you how this is gonna come out until the fight's actually done. The pylon barely staying alive, barely. And, you know, it's funny too because the SCVs were kind of out in the front, and I couldn't tell. I'm like, is this good or bad? Like, and by the way, maybe looking back at it, maybe the SCVs should have gone for the pylon.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Maybe that was
He
actually.
was just like one hit away in terms
If you
of
could like
tempo.
resume from replay, maybe that's actually the play. Guys, we're going to a break. We'll be right back.
Shot worth of HP.
So crazy.
Just the cherry on top. I mean,
So-
just miraculous hold by Hero.
You know, it's a best of 7, obviously. In a record amount of time, Hero is halfway to winning this. If he wins 2 more games, it's done. Doesn't matter how long those games are. I mean, you know, we've already seen in PvT occasionally some of these games can be extremely short. Hero really needs to win here on ley lines. When you're down 0-2, you really got to win that 3rd game.
Yeah, reverse sweep basically never happens
Yeah.
in GSL, or really any other kind of tournament format where there's a best of 7. So for Cure right now, the pressure is on here on ley lines. Map number 3 might tell the tale of this entire GSL finals. Let's get it loaded up. Hero versus Cure.
Okay, Hero in the top right, Cure in the bottom left. Is Hero going to do anything kind of cheesy, kind of crazy here, or is he just going to trust in, you know, the whole way Protoss could operate in the long game and try to let that ensure his win?
That's an interesting question. We haven't really seen anything.
Yeah, I'm not really
super
familiar with
cheesy,
these
so to
maps,
speak,
so
from Hero this
I can't
entire
really, I don't really
GSL.
have that much input.
Actually,
Plus, I don't know like what the
I
patch
could be wrong about
exactly
this, but I
is.
feel like Hero's basically only
And what's
played
strong
GSL,
in the meta right now.
and he hasn't been stopped by anybody yet. He is just looking unshakable in this matchup. But to answer your question, Tasteless, I think that if we see something really aggressive come out from Hero, it's not going to be like a one-base play. I don't think it's even going to be something like a proxy Stargate or like a Dark Shrine or something
Eddie in
like
the
that.
mix.
I think the
Morning, good
most
sir.
likely
How's
feature
it
you would go
going?
for is like
It's a StarCraft day today.
like that 4-gate blink with a robo on 2 bases. I could totally see that being in the playbook in this best of 7. But up until this point, thus far in GSL, Hero has never really needed to do something like that. He's aggressive later in the game, but early game it seems like he just doesn't want things to go too far astray. He's very proactive with his scouting, generally speaking. He likes sending these probes very early out. He's doing these hallucinated Phoenix plays with the sentries quite early on. And it seems like his MO in this matchup is basically, as long as I don't get completely blindsided by something, I am confident in my ability in the mid game, whether it be I go for charge or I go for a blink. I'm going to hang with basically every Terran, and so far he has been right. So I don't know if he's going to stray from that playbook here, but given that this is a best of 7, you're up 2 games, if you want to get experimental, this is a great time to do it here as Protoss.
Yeah, you know, it never hurts to kind of mix it up. By the way, the Reaper, I'm kind of surprised he hit the probe here. You know what I mean? It feels like, you know, the Reaper is going to probably try to beeline through that area.
Could be a hiding in plain sight kind of thing.
Yeah, well, that works sometimes too, where you like hide it in the spot that doesn't make sense because they'll loop around the side. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh.
try to catch something that would have been hiding. Anyways, he lost the scouting probe, so no intel here. The Reaper's going to go inside the main.
Yeah, the Stalker just kind of walked past this in the natural expansion. I was surprised by that move.
Ooh,
probe
one
is
down.
going to go down. I think this Reaper certainly is not going to be able to evade both of these Stalkers here in the main base. So trading out for one probe, again, just disappearing.
Just disappears.
I do hope that bug goes away before season 2.
What happens is right before they kill him, they go back in time and kill the Reaper's parents, so he doesn't exist in the present. That's why he disappears like that.
Stalker particle shot actually moves faster than light, so it can't go past and back in time and do that.
So yeah, I mean the Hellions going to be on the outside. There's another Reaper and a Hellion. Going to try to come in again, and it seems like he just kind of overextended with the.
Think I get it, but I keep
depth.
forgetting what I learned.
And then as soon as the Adept
True,
finished
Callie.
shading
Same
it-
here.
Oh, wait a second. I'm getting juked a little bit here. So another probe's going to go down. This Hellion should be able to take at least one more,
Oh
but there
my
are two
God!
Stalkers on the other side of the map. When you open with Reapers and Hellions like this, obviously you don't have a lot of really good fighting units. It's going to take this Cyclone coming out with some SCVs to repair to actually get this command center finished.
Oh, he's got to be careful. He's going to try to target the Cyclone. Anything that'll buy a little bit of time.
Yeah, but there's just no way with the four
Yeah,
SCVs
no,
there
not
to repair.
happening. But, you know, that slows everything down. It can seem, you know, to the casual observer kind of inconsequential, like, well, who cares? That command center is going to finish one way or the other. But the fact that it's delayed, the fact that the SCVs had to be transferred later, the fact that every SCV that comes out of that command center is going to be a little bit later than it would have been, that hurts. Oh!
Tasteless! Kira's not expecting Hero to still be right on his front door. This medevac, it already boosted. Very low on HP. Adept now coming in. Focus firing down. The Marines low on HP. Cyclone, great micro there by Kira fighting back. The Stalker on 1
Supplied
HP.
knowledge more valuable than
SCVs do not
theoretical
get a
knowledge.
killing blow, but the siege tank finally comes out.
It
to
depends,
save the day.
Callie.
Man, my heart sank
In the
deep
beginning,
my chest
yes.
when I
In
saw
the
that,
end,
because
no.
this kind of moment where if Kira reacted like an eighth of a second later and that medevac dies, he
Like,
might
at a
not
certain
be
point,
in
the
series.
scale tips.
That is
But it tips at the
scary.
high end, not
You
the
gotta
low
watch
end.
out for Hero,
So
man.
applied knowledge
I know
is
Kira's
way, way
not
more
expecting him
important,
to
and then it
still be on
taps
the front
out,
door, even with
and then
4
eventually
units. But with Hero, really anything is possible.
theoretical
Hero
knowledge
active
becomes more
with these
important.
early groups of stalkers.
Man, it's been a
In our
pretty
society,
action-packed
theoretical
game.
knowledge is more important than applied
Kronos
knowledge.
Right now, no third base just yet.
Because we've hit like the maximum
Hero's gonna
end
be
of
doing
applied
it
knowledge.
A little bit differently. He's gonna
So we
basically
need
gear up
theoretical
for-
knowledge
I guess it's old
in
school
order
now, but,
to,
you know,
like,
the warp
create
bridge of
new
Stalker
applied
Raz.
knowledge.
This, I don't know if this is a.
If you know what I mean. Like, it's like thinking about things deeper and finding things deeper in order to explain things in order to create a more applied knowledge. Like, if we could learn how to apply quantum entanglement, we could have computers that could download the entirety of the internet in a fraction of a second. There would be no such thing as load times. There would be no such thing as, like, an upgraded computer. Your computer would just be a computer, and that would be an infinite power, like, computing ability with, like, quantum computers. If we figured out how to do quantum entanglement properly.
This is huge for Hero. Okay, the siege tanks are sieging up.
But
so Hero's gonna
without
catch
the
completely out of
theoretical
position. The Observer did get sniped by that
aspect,
scan.
we would never even understand the concept of quantum
Straight to
mechanics.
the main. You know the siege tanks are there in the front line. Shift queuing the stalkers into the main base. Oh, is that Stim? Stim is gonna go down. No,
Damn,
Stim
man,
is
fucking
gonna
Hero
tear.
is on a
Siege tanks are
fucking
completely out of
roll.
position. One more pop from the factory. Stalkers blinking forward, getting shuffled. The low HP stalkers into the warp prism. SCVs now are falling. You can see Cure. He has half the army here in the main base, half in the low ground, trying to split things up, but he's not expecting Hero to commit even harder here into the main. More Zealots getting warped in. The entire mineral line has been defeated here. These stalkers, the micro from Hero has been insane. They are so deep in the red. 4 of them going to go into the warp prism, and when the dust settles, 19 SCVs dead. On Hero's side of things,
That's insane.
this cost him a lot of army supply. That was a huge trade.
Oh my God,
And
he's
Kira's
just gonna.
like, yeah, you know
he's
what?
just gonna. He goes, nope, I'm not even going to try. He realizes, okay, I lost my workers, but I killed almost all the stalkers. If I can have a counter punch, it might be hitting Cure's glass jaw. There might just be not enough to handle literally everything being thrown at him. He's gonna see this. That's not a lot of time to get ready. But he did force a siege, not bad. Unfortunately, not all the tank siege. He's going to try to come in again. He doesn't force a second siege, so the army's remaining fluid. He's going right across the map.
Sieging right in front of the natural expansion. That's a lot of Marines, Tasteless. Those Zealots quickly dispatched by the bio ball. SCV's holding on in the front line. A group of stalkers here in the main base trying to reinforce. Now, I'm worried for Hero. I think that, oh man, all of the production right now is right.
Oh, that Artosis pylon!
Cure with excellent decision making says, you know what? You want to trade those stalkers? I'm gonna go bring the fight right to you. The Immortals having a hard time connecting with these siege tanks. The Marines focus firing down the stalkers. There's just way too much army here for Terran. No, Hero, even a Dark Shrine cannot save you. Cure is too smart. He has been banking scans in the main base.
Oh, hold on. He's got DT tag.
No, there's too many scans.
There's just not enough.
There are too many scans.
He's gonna make one DT.
Tasteless.
If this scan dissipates,
He's building a turret in the main base. Another scan drops. And Hero is dead to rights.
Dude, this game was insane.
What a series we have, and
This
it's
has
only
been
game 3.
So good. Yeah, Hero's dead.
Yeah.
Yep, GG.
Wow.
More game.
Wow. I gotta say, this is the kind
Let's
of
start the comeback. Let's go.
Moved like 30 seconds later. Maybe Hero's able to muster up enough defenses to hold. But just immediately identifying the situation, like
that is being decisive.
You traded with my army,
Chapter 19 posted right now. It's the final chapter and has a really good help thing of cheese at the end. Nice.
Like 400 IQ play in that moment. By the way, you have to like, right when that battle's done, look at that and go, this is what I'm going to do now.
Yeah. Has to be instant, snap decision.
You can't like spend 10 seconds deliberating. You got to go now.
And on top of that, you also need to make the decision not to drop mules, because the entire mineral line in the main base got wiped out. Even the SCVs on the gases mostly got wiped out. There was basically no mining there for Cure. A lot of Terrans in that situation would be like, well, you know what? I can still drop like 2 or 3 mules. I can probably get maybe a dozen more Marines out of this rallied across the map. Cure's like, you know what? I have enough army. The only way I lose is DTs. Let's just bank those. Let's get turrets and bank those. Brilliant play from Cure. Excellent decision making, and now he is on the board.
All right, guys, we're going to map 4 here. Cure starting that comeback. Let's go. Okay. Cure down here in the bottom right. Once again, Hero sending his probe from the top left to scout in here and see what's going on. Really interested to see that counterattack work out that well. Honestly, I think Cure's playing better than Mario. He looks so good. And let's keep in mind, game 2.
Jesus,
That's
Scoozy.
insane that that didn't end the game. I'm still thinking about it. That's supposed to work. Like, I know that, like, StarCraft's not exactly like chess. Like a one piece captures another piece in chess, right? In StarCraft, it's like a lot more like shades of gray. Like the math is a lot fuzzier, and so like that's why you can have these really interesting fights where like maybe somebody is a little bit better at control and they come out ahead. But on paper, if you show a pro that scenario where the barracks got hidden, came here for Team Liquid. Well, you might be pleased. I think he's going to possibly take this, man. Take game 4 here.
It's possible.
So if you show somebody game 2, like a pro gamer, and you say, okay, they didn't scout any of this stuff, and here's what Hero's doing. Any pro goes, yeah, this is a Terran win. And then it happened and it didn't work out.
Oh, come on, Hero.
Citizen's arrest?
That SCV is so low on HP. That SCV is living a survival horror game right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think it all comes down to that. Hero literally had one force field because he waited until the first sentry had 75 energy and then hallucinated Phoenix at the most, the worst possible moment. It was the second sentry popping that had the force field that locked in 2 Marauders and allowed the probes around. If there's no probes around on those, the sentry's never connecting with that. The SCVs get there in time to support the Marauders, and I think Hero was just dead. So like, everything had to go perfect for Hero because up until that point, everything had already gone perfect for Cure.
True.
It was really a miraculous game number 2. I mean, what a treat this series has been so far. I am just so pleased to be able to cast a game like this one. Cure just looking to be on top of the world right now in TVP.
There's no factory, right?
I don't think so. No, it's going to be a
Okay,
2 factory
just
into,
started there. So
yeah.
it's double racks into factory, and he's going for concussive shells, by the way. Yeah, let's see what happens with that. I wonder if he's going to have something where he can hit the third like right as it's done.
Cure's a really big fan of going for these more barracks-centric plays. Like,
Yeah.
he might even throw down a third barracks and do something similar to what he did previously with the siege tanks and no medevacs. But he could also just go something like 3-1-1. He just really he recognizes his skill, I think, in terms of controlling bio units and navigating the army composition of bio. And by navigating that, I mean like having the correct ratio of Marauders to Marines based on what your opponent is doing, which sounds like it's easy, but if you play 2 Marine heavy against somebody who goes super fast Storm, your army is like a glass cannon. Like a thin breeze coming in from those side storms will basically wipe you off the map. It's one of the reasons why Cure, with his army spreads and Marauders, is just so good at retaining armies even after big fights. And it is going to be that third barracks. So we'll have to wait and see if there is going to be a starport follow-up to this, or is he going to dip back into the well and go for another 2-base push with an SCV pull, with no starport, no medevacs, just pure power. I think it is possible.
So the hallucinated Phoenix is going to come in here, and he's going to see everything. No secrets in this game. And, you know, this could be a later third base, by the way. I can't remember if it was which match it was, to be honest. But one of these games I said this has to be a push, and then it was just a later third command center. It could be the Terran plays that way just because they can't expand sooner without dying to Stalker Blink. So they just sort of kind of play a beefier, meatier army building game, and then just expand out slowly.
I think this is going to be the same build that we saw between Cure and Classic before. There's still no starport. It's 3 barracks. I think more barracks are probably going to get thrown down. Engineering bay getting added.
Damn.
I believe around the same time. Because at the tail end of that push against Classic in these semifinals, +1 infantry weapons was making a really big difference in those fights where it was basically just Marines and Stalkers. It also makes pro pools basically completely irrelevant because they evaporate to those Marines like nothing else. I mean, probes are already pretty bad against Marines.
Oh,
those Marines
here he goes.
+1, it's just...
He's getting size
It
for
is
him.
crazy. So on hero side of things, we do have Storm coming in, but it just started. And now with his hallucinated Phoenix, he is spotting this. +1 ground weapons is getting researched. There's a lot of energy on these Templar, but it's gonna
Oh
be a
no,
long
he's
time
sending
to
more
look at the
boys.
Storm, and now the SCVs are getting pulled.
This is not an Expo game. This is going to be another sharp timing. And it's going to hit hard.
And he just hit the
Nexus,
third,
by the
too,
way,
so
it
he's
just
gonna be-
started, So I think almost
Yeah.
100% is going to have to be canceled. Protoss is going to see it coming. The Stalkers are in kind of a weird spot.
Yeah, the Storm is so far away. We don't have
Yeah.
Blink either. I think it's just charge.
And he's going to go for the bunker play. Now, there's nowhere near as much infrastructure at the entrance, so he's going to have to try to get the Nexus here. There's no, Achilles heel here. He's going to take the pylon out, and that's going to actually... Oh, no, I'm sorry. The +1 will finish. I didn't realize there was another pylon back there.
Yeah, +1 finishes. Storm now finally done. Looking at the Templar, I think we have 4, maybe 5 Storms left here for Hero. Those are going to be very critical here on the defense. Keep in mind, no medevacs means no healing here for Cure.
Yeah, and remember that the Marines can go in the bunker. Storm's not going to hurt them. Storm can't hurt buildings. He's making the gateways just in the back here.
I love this SimCity from
This
Cure.
is so sick. He can basically just like push in with bunkers and get in range. And by the way, the third base is going to go down. Yeah, see, the Marines are going to kill this off, no problem. And I mean, this is going to be a stake in the heart here.
Dude,
Hero.
every Marine's basically going to have their slot in a bunker. We're about to have 5 bunkers here in front of the ramp. All right, Hero charging in. He's got a lot of storm.
1 hour, 25 minutes, 45
seconds.
seconds. Crazy.
But the bunkers are standing strong. There's just no way to break
Hell
through
yeah,
here for
Smokey. How's it
Hero.
going, brother?
And Cure runs it
Welcome,
back.
welcome.
The same timing push he used to defeat Classic. He's using here against Hero to great effect. 1 Archon, 3 Templar, 1 Stalker, and just a handful of Zealots right now.
We're fucking shit
on
up,
the
Smokey.
field. Yes, you do have +1.
Moving up in the
Hero,
world,
but how are you
guys.
ever
That's
gonna
what it's
break
all
through
about.
all of these bunkers? This is such a deadly push.
I mean, this is it. You've got to stop this push now. I just don't know if there's any way for Hero to come back through here.
True, Smokey, true.
Again, there's so much to deal with over here. So many bunkers. He storms, another dodge. I don't even think he can kill these bunkers off. This should be game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, 2-2. Let's go.
He's just a stone cold killer with these pushes.
And this is going to be 2-2 now. He's actually evened it out.
I'm doing great. Today's a little bit of a short day, though. We finished Dentist Disaster and we turned it into a YouTube video, but we haven't posted it yet because I want to get your guys' feedback on it to see if there's anything that I should improve or change before I post it.
Actually got +1 infantry weapons even started there for Cure. So maybe just wanted some missile turrets to be safe against DTs back at home. Maybe trying to throw red herring, but in any case, Cure going back to this just pure manpower-based build. No medevacs, just a whole lot of
just fucking timing push, fuck them up. It's what it's all about.
The bunkers are the HP in that army. It's not the healing, it's the bunkers.
Yeah, yeah. And look, this is. Oh, well, we'll talk more about that in a second, guys. Short break, and then the finals continues on. In the transition from early game into mid game.
Yeah, some adjustments are going to have to be made. Kira's been able to fight back, and honestly, now the momentum is in his favor as we get ready to go to.
Yeah, is this going to be a clean sweep? Is he going to win the next two?
Hero and Kira tied up 2-2 in the best of 7 as GSL continues on.
Callie, go right. True. Why isn't the lurker lurking? Is that the wrong lurker? I think that's the wrong lurker.
Hero in the top right, Kira in the bottom right.
That's just a burrowed lurker.
Yeah, let's see what.
True,
exactly,
Smokey. That's what it's all about.
The game plan is going to be for
Stuff that
guys.
peach.
Kira looks really strong. By the way, we never really got any of these like crazy long late games, right? We had this with a Kira Classic. Didn't really happen yet, right?
No, not at all. I feel like, I mean, Hero, his games are usually just so explosive.
Yeah.
That they usually don't go too late. By the way, double gas opening here for Cure. So we're going to have some really fast tech coming in.
Probably Cloak Banshees again?
Most likely with the delayed command center. We did see Gumiho go for literally like an EG Puma 111 from I don't know how many years ago style build earlier on in the semifinals, but I feel like Cure here with this double gas is probably going to do something a little bit more delayed as opposed to the speed. It seems like he is really a Terran who prioritizes having numbers. Like you see him doing siege tank pushes compared to a lot of the other Terran players in TVP here in GSL, and whereas a lot of other people are prioritizing the speed of the push, Cure is really all about hitting just a critical mass.
Yeah.
It's been working very well for him so far. Like 1-0 versus Classic with that build, 1-0 versus Hero with that build. Now for Hero, because he went for this really early scout, not only is he able to see the factory timing, the barracks timing, and know this is a 2-gas opening, he also knows that it's a 2-gas opening that isn't super gas intensive. What I mean by that is that we see these refineries, they're only about half saturated. For a moment it was 2 guys on Vespine gas on one of those assimilators.
It was just so he couldn't steal the gas like a little
recalling
bitch.
that probe is kind of nice.
Even though gas steal isn't
that's
that
keep
popular
by
in
Hero.
StarCraft 2.
Just saving one more worker.
That's why they made 2 geysers, to prevent
We'll
gas
see what
steals.
kind of build Cura's going to bring to the table with this one. Of course, delaying the gas income like that is going to translate into a faster command center, so that is now getting thrown down.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, not a lot's going to happen here for the next minute or two. We're going to wait and see, you know, what kind of...
Pack your bowls, get your tokes ready,
game
boys.
this
They
is gonna
say
be.
that, but
We
it's
do have
gonna
the
hit the
starport, by the
fan.
way.
Shit's gonna hit
So
the
this
fan.
isn't, you know, factory and a bunch of barracks like we had in game 2. We've got the Twilight Council, and the big thing that I'm looking for as we go into this game is I just want to see, will Quick Storm be the route that Hero goes for? And if he does go for that, does Cure once again have an answer that just shuts it down?
I don't think it's a mistake for him to go Quick Storm at all, but the scouting needs to be a little bit more proactive. Because last game, Hero, although he did technically see all of the pieces of the puzzle with the hallucinated Phoenix Scouts against Cure, on the previous map, I think he didn't quite put that puzzle together to determine what the build was going to be from Cure. I think that maybe Hero was suspecting that, perhaps Cure has a starport that's just out of my vision. I just didn't see it. They were the Phoenix, because the response of taking the third base, going for the Storm in a timing like that one, didn't really seem like the appropriate response to the push that Cure did. This just battering ram of siege tanks and Marines, where the firepower is in greater quantity than basically any other TVP push, because you are completely foregoing the support of the starport and the medevacs and the healing. And so if he's going to go Storm, I think a game like this one, where Kira is developing a lot more normally, like he's going into Banshees with Cloak, which is an excellent form of harassment. He's going into Siege Tanks, but he's doing it kind of course, that starport. So the push isn't going to be nearly as deadly, or if it is deadly, it's not going to be pushing as quickly. I think in this situation, Storm makes a lot more sense, but instead Hero is opting for the robotics facility.
So, the third base, being seized here, everything is in this kind of development mode. Okay, so he just now finishes the robo. There's an observer coming out. And we're going to see the Cloak come in here.
Told you guys, Cloaked Banshee.
Protoss is going to attack in,
with
which
charge
means the main is naked here. So this is going to be a kind of a weird situation where they're both going to be hitting each other at the same time.
I don't even think we have a siege tank back at home, so the shield battery mitigates a lot of the damage here.
Oh man, actually this is kind of crazy. Like if he can just run up, dude.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
The depots are down as well.
Yeah, this is actually insane.
Surprisingly, Cure did not keep that Banshee back. I thought he was going to try and use it to focus down the Stalkers and the Sentries, but
dude,
instead he's just going to fight with his army. Now he's sending it back. A little bit of indecision there. In total, we're going to have, what, 15 SCVs go down? Just enough energy to force field out those units, too. Recall's going to save 2 of those Stalkers, and this cell can probably get like 3 or 4 more kills. These are some injured SCVs.
What, like 18, maybe 19?
I mean, do you just pull the boys at this point? You can't. You have no army.
I mean, this is what's crazy about this. So I think what happened there was he just wasn't looking at his base. He just thought, okay, I'm going to get this Banshee in here, and I got to really try to get as many probe kills as possible. And then the Protoss army just ran up the ramp, and yeah, you're right. It killed the army, then the SCVs were pulled, so then all the SCVs got killed. This is like
hell
an
yeah,
extremely
Smokey.
easy position for Hero.
Yeah, Hero's done this a couple times today with this just charge timing, which you rarely
in for it
ever
now,
see
sweetheart.
anybody do.
Take those sexy
in
glasses
PvP.
off like a good girl. You don't need to see what
happens.
happens next.
Well, it's funny. It's kind of like you're catching someone with their pants down.
Yeah.
Like you're just not looking.
Guys,
and
it broke
suddenly the stuff runs
again.
up there and does so much damage.
Bot
Really
Rick's
smart move.
broke
I feel like if
again.
this was a more popular move, you would see a player like Cure just have a bunker and a natural expansion with 1 or 2 depots around it, and then be mostly safe against the charge zealots, because really the charge zealots are the threat. But instead, he's being a little bit greedy, I think, just because Hero is doing this kind of off-meta push style. And now, as you said, his position is so easy. He's getting Blink, he's adding in, what, 3 or 4 additional...
Sorry,
depots.
1
Some of
second
them
here,
just finished up
Smokey.
right
This
now.
shit's
This is like a
fucked.
7-3 or
It broke.
8-2, like favorite position.
Trying to
for Hero.
reset
Like,
it.
just, you kill the army and you kill the workers, and you've got an extra base and all your tech's up now. All your gateways are
Yeah,
up and most
someone's
of your tech's
covering
up.
her fucking
I mean,
mouth.
It's just like, how do you lose that, right? Like, you could have a much worse player basically sit down in Hero's chair and play this out, and it would probably beat Cure.
Well, Medvac's going to unload here in the main base. Blink is almost done. It might finish before this skirmish is over, so that Medevac has to be very careful.
Someone killed Ivy.
Exposed, but I think Cure recognizes
Someone
the
killed
threat.
Ivy,
He
guys.
doesn't want to risk Blink being done right now and losing a Medevac and just adding even more insult to injury.
She's sick today.
To his position. And for Cure, my point of curiosity is you're playing from really far behind right now. Oh, wait, you know what? Cure's not even going to be in a position to make a decision because Hero is attacking again, Tasteless.
This is crazy.
On a day where we
He
need
is
to
just
do...
going for the throw. And I love this, by the way, for Hero. He knows that Cure is hurting.
1, a 2, a
And
3,
he
a
is just
4, a
ready
5,
to
a.
absolutely send it.
He's going for the jugular now. He's going to attack in here. He's got these Immortals to unload. A Blink on top. The SCV's pulled.
1, a
Force
2, a
field's
3,
going
a 4,
down.
a 5, a 1,
Nice
a 2, a
micro.
S, T, A,
Already
R, T.
10 SCVs have been killed off. But it
True.
looks like Cure might have enough to actually
Want
fight
a
back
toe?
out again.
Oh.
Yeah, Smokey, I just had a
The
toe.
War Prism gets sniped by the flanking Marines. This went way better for Cure than I was expecting. Look at that. At this point, I think you just send it here as Cure. You lost 15 SCVs, you retained your medevacs. Yeah, pull the boys! Let's go, Cure. This is your chance.
Oh my God,
You've been given one opportunity. This is it. Seize the moment. There is still a world where Hero is able to recover from this. It's 57 workers to the 27 right now of Cure. The mining is huge here for Hero. Will he be able to reinforce fast enough, though, to absorb the impact of this push?
There is a Colossus coming out. That's going to be massive. But he has to get that out first. He has to buy some time. He's going to maybe try to throw some force fields down. No, he's going to send some zealots in over here on the side.
A lot of reinforcements right now coming in for a Hero. The Medivac still standing strong with the healing. Cure able to isolate this Colossus on the right side. It goes down. The bio still standing really strong. Probe's even getting pulled.
Actually, I think.
Now. Focus fire is very
Yeah, I think
it's
Hero wins.
On the ground, you got to go away. Blink Stalker's now on the low ground, man. Cure. He was playing from so far back. I love that he just pulled the trigger on this push, but Hero has just enough to parry the attack.
Wow, that was beautiful.
GG.
That you know, it's crazy how scary that counterattack was. You know, there's something funny about, you know, when you see like a fight, PvT, and it's like, it's not always clear who's going to win, right? And then suddenly, because of stim and heal, it spikes in the Terran's direction. It's like, oh, this is really bad. Getting that Warp Prism was huge. But yeah, look, I mean, this all goes back to that initial rush. Sometimes things that don't always make a lot of sense and can be easily stopped will work in a pro game. Like that run, and yeah, if you had a bunker, it's like, well, then this just won't work. And
I think it's just
the Banshee
meta.
kills workers.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Cure just wasn't looking. It's like, you know, you're going to rob the house. Well, we got to go through the window, you know, we got to go through the second floor. No, we're going to go through the front door. Where they're not going to lock the front door. We're going to walk right in their house. We're going to steal their TV. That's what he did. We have two possible games.
Stole
left.
his TV.
If Hero can close this out.
Love it.
Again, it's been an action-packed series. One of the best finals we've had here at GSL, honestly.
Every single game has been so explosive, so fast-paced, and oh man, I want this to go to a Game 7. I'm pulling for Cure here on Ultra Love. Guys, let's load in map number
What a
6.
name, Ultra Love.
Okay, Hero in the bottom left, Hero in the top right, and yeah, I mean, let's get into this game. You know, each of these PvTs is a little bit slow at the start. You know, in the minute or two, or you know, not a whole lot's going on. But when the things pick up, man, it really picks up.
It's been a very fun PvT series. I mean, this entire day has been a treat as far as PvT is concerned. And even for Cure, looking back to the last game, I mean, you said it. Really, he just got crippled, basically, by that early timing attack that Hero did. And I love, even though it failed, I loved the decision-making from Cure to just pull the trigger. Like, you know what? If there is any moment where I am going to win this game, it is right now. It is trying to capitalize on this blunder that Hero made, where he overextended. He lost the Warp Prism. He lost his Immortals. He lost a ton of his Stalkers. Let's just go for it. That's the kind of decision-making that makes a champion. Now, unfortunately for Cure, his position heading into that decision was already so dire that it just was not enough. But those are the kind of decisions that could potentially carry him through a game number 6 and a game number 7.
Once again, it's going to be teching for the Terran, probably with a command center on the low ground. We have the Cybernetics 4 on the way, but we'll probably have the Twilight Council, so it'll probably be that same kind of tech. What happened in the last game from Hero probably just won't happen again in the series. I think you have one chance to make that work, and he did it, and he got his win. He almost lost it, but then fought back and won anyways, but yeah.
It is very interesting seeing how quickly that Hero is going for charge in some of these games. It makes me think back to the series versus Gumiho, because in a lot of those matches, I thought the charge choice was something specific against the opponent being Gumiho. It's like, well, he's probably going to hit me really fast with a very technical push. What if we have like 8 charge zealots? That'll probably stop most of the stuff on the ground, and it did in that series. But then you see him doing the same thing here against Cure, and it's like he uses the hallucinated Phoenix to probe the base of his opponent and determine whether or not this kind of attack is even viable. And if it is, he goes for it. If it isn't, well, instead of warping in a round of Zealots, why don't you just build a third base or expand more quickly?
Yeah.
I like that approach a lot here for Heroes. So I think there is a potential for us to see that again coming into the series. But there is more likely going to be a bit of caution on Cure's part. This is certainly on his radar now, and I would be surprised if it was anywhere near as effective as it was in game number 5. Now, Cure, are you going to use a grenade to try and get past this, or are you content just to see what units have been produced?
Yeah, he's like, just going to take the shields off that pylon. So he's going to come in again, and pretty much sees everything that's going on.
Man, what did this pylon do to deserve this treatment?
I know. You watch. Later on in this game, there's going to be a push on the low ground there, and that little bit of extra HP that's gone, it's going to kill that pylon.
14 less HP, man. Hey, if he got 14 more damage done on that initial pylon with all the shield batteries, and what, game number 2, he could have won that game.
By the way, there's 4 gates being made.
Yeah, and charge. So this is a similar opening to before.
So I just said, like, it's not going to happen. Never mind that. He's going to go right on in and do it.
Yeah, but again, he doesn't have to go for the push, right?
Sure, yeah. I mean, he could also hold off his opponent's push or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like how versatile this opening is. I'm going to have to mix this into my own games. This really fast charge is cool to see, because for so long in the PvT meta, people have just been going Link, like basically every game. As it is right now, Cure posturing a little bit with some Hellions and Reapers on the front line. There is one Widowmine and a Medevac, but this is all very low commitment here for Terran. He is able to isolate this one Stalker with reinforcements coming in. He's hardly going to get any hull damage on it. And behind this, Terran is developing with siege tanks. Sim has just started. It is a 2-1-1 build here for Terran. Meanwhile, Hero, I think you said he's on 4 gateways now? And the robotics facility is just now completing, I believe.
So the Robo is actually over here at the entrance. And I wonder if the Reapers are scouting for just this. Keep in mind, a push at the entrance, if he kills like that pylon or just kills the gateways in the Robo, that's like more than half the infrastructure. Not saying that that's the way this game will end, but it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more difficult this game just because we already have the 4 gateways up for Hero. And charge is already done. By the way, you can see Hero, he is posturing with those Zealots. He's like, man, I really want to charge in here, snipe your siege tank, and then run out. But Kira has wisened up quite a bit, just adding in some city. He was building a bunker for a little while before he had enough units. He's like, all right, this is, I'm safe. I do not need the bunker. I'll just instead wall off a little bit with these supply depots. I love this adjustment here from Cure, and as it is, things are just developing pretty naturally, and Cure is building up to what could be a third base canceling push. Now keep in mind, again, Hero does have all of those gateways. He is starting Colossus production. +1 ground weapons has just begun researching, and we do have charge in already 8 Zealots. Charge Zealots really getting this comp. Oh man, Cure, he is pulling the boys.
The boys, consider them pulled. He's coming.
So all Terran does is pull the boys.
Both observers are going to see it.
They want to double check.
They're both confirming.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Crossbow confirm. And I mean, you know, it's probably going to be that bunker push I was talking about, but he's going to try to meet him out here in the middle of the map.
Yeah,
the
Guardian
tanks
Shield.
are going to siege up.
Guardian Shield doing really good work right now, absorbing the damage on these Marines, but the Zealots, they are falling. Tasteless, only one of the siege tanks go down. Colossus now getting huge shots on the Marines. Curie standing strong, but there is a shield battery on the high ground. The Colossus is not going to fall. Instead, it's what, 6, 7 additional Marines going down? And keep in mind, the previous pushes where this worked for Cure, he had SCV survive. He was able to establish a position with bunkers on the low ground. This game, that is not happening. In addition to that not happening, we have a warp-in point, I believe, at the third base here for Hero. He can set up a flank. He can come in from 2 angles with charge Zealots.
Yeah,
Not looking good for Cure.
This is looking really bad here for Cure. And I love the idea of him just coming out here and smashing the workers and then running back. Because, like, this push is way weaker, and he's going to come back out again. He's got 2 Colossi over here.
Oh, the Colossi are solo on HP. They're going to get pulled back. One of them does fall to the siege tanks. Only one siege tank going down. Momentum swinging again into the favor of Cure. Immortal now in production. Sentries coming in. Hero identifies a lot of the DPS in this army. It's Marines. I want Guardian Shield. Another stem forward. Cure is knocking on the front door of Protoss. Hero solo on HP. He desperately wants to get that Immortal on the field.
Shit.
He's getting to the point where he can start to damage the gateways. Another Colossus is on the way, but it's going to be a little bit. 3 medevacs here. The tank is going to inch forward. He's got a couple more zealots. Can he snipe the tank? He does.
Ghost messages. It's Ghost in the Machine,
Yeah,
guys.
one Viking to snipe the Colossus, doing its duty, breaking through the natural expansion. The infrastructure is going down, and Cure is going to ride this momentum all the way to a Game 7 tasteless.
Damn, man,
Hero
this is
on his
crazy.
last legs here. We are going to go to match point in this GSL final. Man, Cure, it looked like it wasn't going to
I have no idea who's gonna win, man. This is insane, but Kier has the momentum.
All the infrastructure here of Hero. I mean, just magnificent push, bringing the pressure to one of the most aggressive Protoss players in the game. 3-3, Game 7, let's go.
Dude, this is so sick. Oh my god, this series has been insane. I thought Hero was going to hold that. It was not the first attack in there. That worked. It was the second one. It was the overextension. You know, he didn't have to run out there and fight at that moment in attack number 2. Lost the Colossi. Needed to go back. Probably would have been better just like, you know, making another battery, trying to poke out, trying to basically let the Terran come to him and then trying to hit when the tanks are unsieged. Instead, he tried to force it. And now we're going into Game 7.
I am so excited to close this one out. What an epic GSL series. Certainly one for the ages. We were talking about how good Cure is at TVP, how Hero is, I mean, by all means, the best Protoss in the world right now, and they are delivering on the highest stage here in Korea. Pylon is going to be map number 7. And you can
Pylon, what a shitty name for a map.
Pushes have been his
Why would you name a map after a building in the game?
He hasn't really had a good answer for them. But now is the time. Cure, game number 7, he can do really anything he wants. But the back of Hero's mind, from here on out, what if that push comes again? How am I going to stop it? It's got to be a deep beer. Let's go. Game number 7, Hero versus Cure. One of them will be the Season 1 champion.
True. Let's go.
All right, this is it, guys. After this game, we will have a champion. No idea who it's going to be. It's been so back and forth. This finals has been one of the best ever. We've been on for 15 years now. I mean, it's crazy. So we've got the scouting probe coming across the map. A theme here seems to be that, you know, Cure doesn't have to go for late game. He can figure out a way to basically get a stab in there and twist the knife. And a lot of times, it'll just kill Hero off. And in that last game, I mean, he was ready for the attack. It did seem like it was mismanaged. Like, I think if we, you know, just like we had in Game 2, I think if you had resumed from replay, like gone back and the players controlled a little bit different, and a couple of different decisions were made, I think we could have had a very different game.
I like the initial engagement from Hero in the previous map, but it felt like the previous push earlier on in the series got in his head a little bit. And Hero was maybe thinking, you know, what if there are all these bunkers getting set up outside of my natural expansion? What if that position becomes completely entrenched?
Yeah.
And then I cannot break free. It seemed almost like he was putting himself on a timer to break out, whereas, you know, us as fans of the game, as viewers, as casters, as observers, we can see the whole picture. There is no fog of war. We know what is going on. And we can tell that, you know, Hero, he could have taken a little bit more time. I don't know if the outcome would have changed, but there was a world where, you know, he uses some warp-ins at the third base. He's able to come in from multiple angles and get a surround on that Terran army before Cure can establish a position with bunkers, with missile turrets, with those siege tanks even closer to the natural expansion. But you know, in such a high-pressure situation like that one, especially with a memory fresh of the previous push and how suffocating those bunkers were right on Hero's doorstep, it's no surprise that he felt like he was in a hurry to try and break out. And so I'm really curious, does Cure go back to some variant of a siege tank push? If he does, is it going to be the variant that we saw against Classic and Hero earlier in the series where he skips the medevacs and just goes full firepower right out of the gate? Is it going to be something more technical like we saw in the previous game And in either of those situations, what
Yes,
was the
I took a
response from
toke,
Hero B?
Smokey.
Because so far he is
Despite not having any drink to go along with it. I took a toke.
They've been his kryptonite.
Because you said toke, and I took a toke. Well, that's not my fault.
To recreate that push. I mean, it seems to be strong, and you know, I think it's hard. Hero has half the answer when that push came out. The first part, which he did right, is he ran out with everything and fought, because A, the tanks aren't
True.
safe yet, and then
True,
B, the
Smokey.
SCVs can't even get to their destination where they can make the bunkers. So that first part of that worked. The second part was that where he misplayed it, was he
equal
acted
get
as
a
if
drink.
and
Okay.
then had to wipe out
Okay.
the remainder of that push.
Okay.
When
I'll go grab a
it
drink.
was out
I'll be
there. And I
back.
don't think he had to do that at all. I think because the SCVs were gone, all he had to do was muster up a little bit more and basically wait. Tell the Terran, you got to come to me. This is your problem. This is not my problem. I'm going to stay back here. I'm going to macro. Every minute, I'm going to have another Colossus in this game. And instead, he ran out. He ran into siege tanks after, you know, the SCVs were all gone, like a little bit later. And then he lost too much. And then the counterpunch from the Terran, he was able to get back on that horse. He was able to get back on the saddle, continue with the push that should have failed, and close it out.
Tasteless. 3 barracks right now for Cure.
Yeah.
No starport.
Yep.
Siege tanks in production. We are going back to the push that beat Classic, that beat Hero earlier on in the series. Engineering Bay coming in. At this timing, I feel like this is going to be a little bit more like the build that Hero used against Classic, with +1 finishing up during that attack. And just remember how powerful those Marines were fighting, even on low HP, against Stalkers, against Pole Probes, against Warping in Zealots. We'll see if he actually does opt to go for +1, or if he is really going to invest every resource into just firepower and units. But all signs are pointing towards another push coming in from Cure. This time, Hero response a little bit different. We have a Blink Stalker coming in. It is not charge. And it's going to be a lot of Blink Stalkers. Warp Prism also in production, about to complete. More Stalkers being warped in back at home. Hero sitting on 42 workers. That is a optimal 2-base saturation. We'll see if he builds that third Nexus, but I feel like a lot of the investment is going to be here in the front. He's actually building Robo Bay. He is playing this so safe.
Yeah, and I think this is how you have to play it. You know, you got to be focused right now on where this attack is going to come in. He's going to come in with Blink, and I think this is smart. He's going to go right for that reactor, and he's going to get the kill on that.
Yeah, Cyclone Shot gets dodged right there with a pick up on the Warp Prism. Now, one of the problems about doing this push against 3 barracks is that there is so much bio.
Yeah.
And even if the siege tanks aren't in an optimal position, you really can't get that much value in. Oh boy.
Whoa.
Is that another barracks? Yeah, let's go Cure.
Yeah, a lot of barracks coming down here.
So we are going to have +1. It is not just for turrets, and this is going to be pure firepower. This army will be massive.
And this is, by the way, this is another barracks down here. Okay, he's going to see this.
Yeah,
so, like,
you know. Hero knows.
So this is no longer a secret. Hero goes, okay, this is no longer about a third command center ever. This is about ending the game.
Oh, he's supply blocked right now on the Colossus, and it's chrono boosted. This is painful, man. He is feeling the pressure. SCV pull already coming out. That Colossus should have been in production. Oh no, the pylons are only just now starting. Honestly, even losing a Stalker right here is almost advantageous, because that Colossus needs to start. It only just now began. That splash damage is going to be so delayed. This push is coming so fast.
God.
The battery only just now getting thrown down.
And here comes the push. He's almost there. Again, the delayed Colossus. The first Colossus be delayed will even delay the second Colossus coming out after this one. It's huge. The tanks siege up. The Stalkers back up. He's going to throw the bunkers down.
Here come the bunkers. He's walling in the right side of this push. This gateway here in the front already getting taken out. Hero, he is posturing to come in on the left side with Stalker, Zealots, and his Colossi. Right side with the Immortal, with the gateway unit support. Colossus getting some good shots here on the Marines. Hero now collapsing on this position. He blinks forward, focusing down the siege tanks. There is so much firepower here, though, for Cure. Taking almost a 10 army supply lead. The Colossus is staying alive. A lot of the HP here in the army for Cure has been dissipated, though. 10 SCVs going down. The Colossus still stays alive, recharged by that shield battery. Another one now in production. Gateways being reproduced in the main base of Hero. These pylons falling as the bunkers continue to inch forward.
I mean, I just don't know how you could stop this. He's going to have to try right now. He's going to come in here. He's hitting hard. He'll take out the first tank. The bunker takes half damage, but then the dive in. Only it was a dive in on the hallucinated Colossus. A misfire, an overstep.
These Marines are getting so low on HP, Tasteless. There is no healing for them whatsoever. These Colossi shots are huge on those Marines. Hero playing much more conservatively, much more safely this time on the defense. Once again, going in, Siege Tanks focusing down the Colossus. It does get microed back on the left side. Marines taking a ton of damage. Every single stim is permanent damage on these Marines. Even more SCVs being brought to the front lines. SCVs inching forward, getting in range of this gateway, getting in range of this robotics facility.
Bro,
Hero
look at him,
is
man.
coming
The
again.
fuck you go,
He's
bro.
moving in now. He's going to come in with these
I made
Immortals
the
over on the
watermelon.
side. They take out the tank. They're just going to back up again. Without a tank, it's going to be up to the infantry to dive in.
This
And he doesn't get that Immortal.
It is so low on HP. The Siege Tanks, I mean, that Immortal move with a Warp Prism was so clutch by Hero. The long-range firepower is basically gone. It is off the board here for Cure. There's only one more Siege Tank remaining. Guardian Shield is on the table here for Hero. He's posturing. He isn't overcommitting. He is taking his time. He wants to be a GSL Codex champion. Stalker's blinking forward, going for the Siege Tanks. The Immortals firing down.
Oh
on
man,
the
I think Hero
the
wins.
Colossi standing strong. The Rolo units, they're carrying the defense right now. Tasteless.
This is insane.
Cure,
He's got
running
no
out of
more
gas.
tanks. There's no more tanks here. Remember how many SCVs were sacrificed. There's only 24 mining right now. At this point in time, Hero has double that with the extra base. He's going to push out.
That's it,
He's
GG.
going to close this out.
Oh man, the Immortals moving forward. Hero has done an unprecedented job of keeping
GG.
these units alive.
Hero wins.
GG! Hero is your GSL Code S champion.
Unbelievable. We don't have that many Protoss champions, guys, but we do today. Hero in what, by the way, one of the best finals we've ever had, and we've had so many, I stopped counting a long time ago. He has done it. It looked like he wasn't going to be able to hold that push. The Immortal was, the Colossus was supply blocked. He made the right decisions back there. The bunkers got set up, but at the end, Hero managed to hold it. He is your GSL champion.
True.
Unreal, man. We're going to be going to an interview in a sec, I think. Yeah, we've got our host going on stage now. Let's see how he's feeling. We've got Andy here to translate it.
I don't really care. No one really cares about StarCraft 2. All right. Are you guys ready?
Alrighty then.
Let's do it. So, this is the taste faded into oblivion. The testament to my will soured. The character on the poster gazes back at me, and I blink, unable to rival his commanding presence. He is the hero of my favorite comic. I scoop another fingerful of Big League Chew from the crinkled bag and tuck it into my mouth alongside the rest. The bubblegum flavored juices flood my senses once again. It's my stab at imitation. Most characters puff cigars or sip whiskey, embodying the tough guy stereotype. Yet, as a true gentleman, he simply chews gum. To me, this stands as a bold declaration of independence. He rejects conformity, carving his own trail through life. I admire his charm. He bolsters those around him, lifting them up with his words. The sun's warmth streams through the sunroof onto my face, stirring a sense that my fortress crumbles around me. I look over to the TV, wishing I could be on the other side of it, even if it was a horror movie. The intercom buzzes sharply. I press my hands over my ears, feigning ignorance. Michael? I know you hear me. I said 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago. Get down here now, Buster. My mother's voice rings out for the final time. I rise and slide another handful of gum into my mouth. Will my strength wane over time? I ponder, picturing myself as a hero gearing up for the ultimate clash. I tap the button on the remote beside me and speak into the speaker. Be right down. The dry summer air pounds against me as I shut the door. "It's just a routine checkup," she says, attempting to ease my nerves. I suspect she shares my unease. I recall my father mentioning a time before my birth when they neglected to numb her before extracting a tooth. The lawsuit's payout granted them a plush lifestyle. I juggle my fingers to fling it open as quickly as possible. The sleek black leather seats scorch beneath me. I tug my shorts lower to shield my legs while fastening my seatbelt. The engines growl and the air conditioner's hum coax me to shut my eyes and unwind. A gentle, cool breeze caresses my face, snuggling my nostrils with lavender's scent. Relentlessly working my jaw with gum fuels the hero within me. Not even the dentist can halt my habit. I stuff more into my mouth, nearly overwhelming it, as the urgency washes over me. "Michael, you'll choke if you take that much. And don't chew that in the office," Mother warns. "Fine." I pout through the thick mass. She extends a tissue, and I grudgingly spit the wad into her palm. She clears her throat and catches my gaze briefly in the rearview mirror. I roll my eyes and pass her the chewing gum pouch. "Thanks, Eggie." Jazz tunes drift through the waiting room, doing little to calm the churning knot in my stomach. The delay stretches on forever. The same 10 promotional phrases cycle endlessly on the TV perched in the corner. A poster features a whale dangling from a tree limb, captioned, "Hang in there." The tape holding it clings desperately, mirroring the message. Without my gum, I feel exposed, but I remind myself, powers don't forge heroes, actions do. I will be a hero. "Michael Hendrick?" Her words sting me, jolting from my daydreams. I peek over my shoulder at my mother. No comfort to share. She flips through a magazine, offering no glance my way. "This way, please." The receptionist guides me past several nooks to the farthest room. Fluorescent lights flicker and settle as if the universe winks at me, urging me on. It's absurd, but it makes it bearable. The dentist chair towers ahead like a medieval trap. I edge closer as the receptionist motions me to sit. "The hygienist will be in soon for your fluoride. Bubblegum or mint?" "Bubblegum," I blurt. She smiles. "I'll let her know. Just a few minutes." I close my eyes, mimicking the motion of chewing absent gum. The music loops, and a tide of calm sweeps over me. "Michael, is it?" A soothing voice prompts me to look up. A blonde woman, clipboard tucked under her arm, winks as she settles down into a chair. The computer whirls to life as she jots notes. She fires off routine questions. How often do I brush, floss, and so forth. I fudge the truth. She rises, holding up the bite wings. I wince. Routine checkup my ass. "We'll begin with an x-ray. Mind your eyes. I'm switching on this light." She adjusts the overhead lamp and flicks it on. The glow isn't harsh, but it takes a moment to adjust. She steps out briefly, returning with a heavy full body shield. Its weight seals my fate. "Open wide, please." She wedges the brutal plastic between my teeth. "Bite down lightly. Just hold it there." The edges scrape my gums, pressing against my tonsils. It's unbearable. I try to speak, but the sensation lingers. Despite my efforts, it hits, sour, then bitter, mostly liquid, the orange juice from lunch. I sat there, fragile as a vase, a mere glance enough to shatter me. Heat floods my face. "Oh dear, it's fine. Let's clean you up and rinse. It happens to everyone," she reassures me. Unlike Mother's crisp, detached tone, her comfort feels genuine. "We'll grab a fresh cover and try again. You've got this." This time, I cling on desperately. She squeezes my shoulder, positioning the x-ray machines around my jaw. She retreats behind lead walls, and I hear the cameras click, a shrill course gnawing at my ears. She returns to peel away the bite wings and shield. "Bubblegum, right?" I nod. She retrieves the fluoride molds from the tray and instructs me to breathe deeply. The cold, gritty paste presses against the back of my throat. I gag, gripping the chair arms, knuckles whitening. The chair tilts and she leans in, shifting the light. She probes my teeth with a peculiar pick and mirror, the fascination driving through my shield. Then comes the brush and suction. "Close. And open," she directs, clearing debris from my mouth. I marvel at the machines, pumps blending water and air. The sensation soothes me. All right, the dentist will check in soon. Great job, champ. She squeezes my cheek and left the room. The dentist strides in with x-rays in hand, settling into the chair with a grin. My mother trails in moments later. I knew it. Their talk blurs together. Cavities.
Shit, that's an edit.
She knows my dread of needles
fucked
and
that up.
pushes for today. I cast it as a foe, the
Daddy.
real villain lurking beneath a mask. If the room weren't so chilly,
that's the
sweat would
7-minute
beat on
mark.
my skin. The idea freezes me. Great rewards follow great trials, and great trials build from smaller challenges. This is my mountain. Can I defy my fears? I chew imaginary gum, fixating on a single thought. I slam my head back into the chair, frustration spilling out. Ow! I mutter as a sharp sting grazes my tongue. The needle's burn plunges deep, eerie, like a blazing pressure, then nothing. Got a hobby? The dentist asks, leaning back. The ordeal ends. Pain fades, a distant echo of what I long to flee. I read comics, I answer. Favorite one? Yeah, the hero's why I chew gum constantly. It's my courage boost, like it fuels his strength. My words slur as I speak. I get lost in the tale, my speech dissolving into garbled sounds. You really look up to this hero, he cuts in, snapping me back. Think you can match his grit? Challenge accepted, I vow. He adjusts the chair, his face looming close. Tools ready. He starts. Pressure builds. Water sprays. The drill whirls. The noise rattles my skull. Stars flash across my eyes as my pulse races. Am I ready? I picture the worst. Fire beneath my skin. Sharp. Piercing. Stop! I mumble, drool threatening to escape. I lift my hands to push him back. With calm precision, he pauses the drill. Something wrong, Michael? I nod. I feel it. Look at me, he says, pressing a finger to my cheek. Feel this? Yeah, I do. Close your eyes. I obey. Feel this? Still do. Open your eyes. I do, and his hand is gone. I'd swear it was there. The mind tricks you sometimes. A clear visual resets it. Numb now? He asks. I relent. I feel nothing. I think I say. He nods, attuned to my muffled tone, and resumes. I focus on gum, my solace. If I can't chew it, I imagine it. Eyes shut, the sensation locks in. The taste, the effort, the craving for more. Thicker wads taxing my jaw. I slip into reality the worst way. I bite down. The drill halts. The chair shifts back. I blink. You okay? He asks. I steady myself, flash a thumbs up and open wide. Not my first rodeo, he chuckles, returning to battle. It drags on endlessly, head tilting, light repositioning, drill buzzing, fillings pressing into my teeth. When it's over, he leaves. I fidget, eager to bolt. The hygienist returns with toothbrush options. I pick the blue one with yellow stripes. Villain's cape colors. She explains my gums bleed from poor flossing. Does chewing gum hurt that? I ask. Not that it'd sway me. Might strain your jaw long term, but no need to quit. She doesn't grasp my obsession. Then the usual. Return in 3 or 4 months, always luring me back. Gum consumes my thoughts. Flavor doesn't matter. Just the rhythm and relief of surviving. I look at my mother. Can I wait in the car? She tosses me the keys without a word. Leaving her buried in forms, I head to my refuge. I snatch the chew and cram it into my mouth, shaping it with relish. A faint taste coats my throat as I melt into the leather seat. Peace at last. Something drips on my chin. I wipe it, savoring the motion. More trickles down. What is it? I open my eyes, touch my lips. Red. Blood. Blood. Yes, other than that one little edit error there, what do you guys think? Especially, like, just specifically the visuals and the music in the background. So around the 7-minute. Damn, froze for me. What do you mean froze for you, Sean? Somewhere right around here. Grim. My mother trails in moments later. I knew it. Their talks blur together. Their talk blurs together. Their talks blur together. Their talk blurs together. So this is the edit that I fucked up. And this is gonna fuck everything up after it. And transitions. Oh, the real villain lurking beneath a mask. If the room weren't so chilly, sweat would beat on. Okay, so let's see. Does that fix everything after, or is everything after fucked? No, I think everything's fine. Yep. Okay. Perfect. So then let's get rid of this one. Export this. Dentist disaster. Complete. Okay, well, it's doing that. Let's go to Grok. And it's coming up as a stream crash now. Oh, shit.